Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure in the program we are bringing the Amazon team. And this year we've decided to go another route, not a detour, but to go another route in terms of showing some of, besides the work, the massive work that we are doing there, but to showcase some of the creative that Amazon team is busy with, not when we are at work, but when we are at our little corners at home or with other groups, because we are also writers, but not all of us like to be called writers. But again, as a museum of literature, we always give space and the platform to authors and publishers. And today, Florence Denkamp, has decided to join Amazon. And we are always gracious for opportunities like that. And I will let her set the ball rolling, and then it will be more like an open mic session. Over to you, my dear.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I wasn't booked, but I'm so interested in poetry and literacy. And I even want my grandchildren to get interested in it. And I'm so disappointed, no young people here. They are supposed to be here, they are the future, but they aren't here. So I'm going to do a poem which I learned 1964 when I was in standard 6. How it came about that I did this reading and loving of poetry is, I was in Mr. Van Beek's class, and I had to write a poem, a story on my hobby. In Afrikaans, my stokperdjie. And I did not listen to the teacher properly, so I didn't really know what the stokperdjie was. So I took the stokperdjie and I was riding on that stokperdjie. And Mr. Van Beek got so furious. I wrote a lot of nonsense. And he just drew a line through, and he wrote "Tuak" with an exclamation. Yeah. So I felt very bad and humiliated. Also coming first in the classroom, and now I don't even know what a hobby is. And then I decided to start paying more attention to reading and poetry. So in 1964, I'm still in love with this one. I'm going to say it now. It's Crossing the Hertz River Mountains. At Tweefontein in the moonlight, the little white ants shine, and a cry comes out of the darkness from those who guard the line. The panting heart of the engine bows down the racing stars, and beyond are the quiet mountains, and above are the quiet stars. Looping, climbing and falling, panting and swooping she sped, like a snake at the foot of a mountain, with a great white lamp ahead, shouldering the heavy gradients, heedless of breathing spells, and racing away like a maddened steed down the sloping parallels. Then out of the doorn she thunders, and over the staff Karoo, dwindling the hills behind her, farther and farther sped. And I know not which to praise the more, the moonshot hills of God, or the genius of the man who planned and made this glorious road. Thank you very much.
Mr. Van Wyk, how would you cross that poem and write to
Nothing my father. My father, actually my father.
We have a Mr. Van Wyk here, and he's going to carry the burden for all the Van Wyks. And I'm asking that question again, Mr. Van Wyk, how could thanks, Megan.
Well, maybe that's what prompted. If you hadn't done it, you might not have been here today.
Yes.
So,
And it's so nice.
thank you for sharing. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to show some few poems from one of our colleagues. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. His name is Andrew Martin. I will let you read them on your own and share your thoughts. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Andrew is not here, but please do share your thoughts. You can send them at info@amazon.museum, and we will welcome them and we'll also share them with Andrew Martin. He is very famous for writing very, very short poems, better known as haiku. Mariki, let me rather call him Magia.
Okay, thanks. So I'm Marike Beyer. So the first poem I will read is from a collection called On Another Page, which is from a small Grahamstown publisher. And the poem, I try to choose poems that have some sort of, at least a bit of a landscape or a place setting. The poem I'm reading is, it was set during, it's at the time I lived in a flat close to that was looking out across the town. I could see the cathedral tower, and early in the mornings there were quite often sort of about 5 o'clock there was quite a lot of heavy traffic coming through in Beaufort Street, buses and lorries driving by. Through the window, long distance buses. That's good timing.
Sorry, for the recording, can I ask you to, as loud as you can? I know.
Through the window, long distance buses rumble of homesickness and journeys wrapped in green jerseys. Out of time they pass by and rattle my window in the early morning. Blowing off steam at the robot, they murmur of destinations, of endless luggage, scalding coffee and city lights on the horizon. Inside, I too sit wrapped in my breath, drawing names onto the glass. And the next poem I will read is quite similar physical setting. At that particular time there was a There was a fire in town, so the air was very smoky, and I tried to combine a sense of physical environment with a kind of like a dream inner experience. Winter's throat. This night pours from winter's throat, the horizon to my door, a blade of cold, a fist of fear, as I walk in the dream of my brother's death. The streets in my city are ash, the cathedral tower obscured in darkness. Buses rumble by more gently than dry leaves on concrete. These are the streets I know, the trees shudder in the wind. Folded inside I only find these 2 suitcases and heavy feet. Then I will also read the one kind of a prose poem that I wrote. It's a only poem I will read in Afrikaans. It was a poem that I wrote for my brother for his 40th birthday. Reën in jou tuin, Hoëveldse gemis, is die donderweer ook en ver af berge of drome van hoogtes, hier die reintjies in die pers van jacaranda dae, saam oupa se goedmoedige skel, 'n wens, helder vloeipype van persblomme en rooi gevlek buitenwaa se kaalvoetbravade, die onskuld van erwterms, iewers 'n emmer vol blinkend plas, die glinster van 'n maan, groen sterrekamers, trappe na ergens, sonder inval, omval, wegval, einders naby 'n voet verplaas, 'n hier wat in die hand rus, wasglad en helder, middernagfeeste, wyn onder 'n boom se blare, se dun are versprei die net tussen onthou en 'n voël se geroep. Bome is altyd hoog en reisende geheime speletjies, geblok en stout af, mag daar altyd ander mense wees. Wiele wat draai, dis nie net blou nie, die sekse klop in die bors, soos trane in die straat se wit gesig, die klop van hoop, omlaai na môre, en 'n oog wat kyk en stil kan wees, die oopte van halfpad onthou en môre. En dan sal ek 2 van meer onlangse gedigte read. Sorry. Then I'll read 2 more recent poems, and this one is a fun one, a bit about writing. I wake up. I wake up, and all my words are wrong. I ask them, but they sulk, skulk, stare at their toes. They were off duty. It was late, and anyway, it was Friday night. Some friends came around. They mope, they mumble, they just want to go to bed, or find some quiet spot to sit and stare, and by the way, the music was too loud. It's too early, they say. They want some tea and scrambled eggs on toast. After that, they'll try to dust things down and look for punctuation marks. And my lockdown poem, September. Noah. Lockdown level 2, interprovincial travel allowed. A small boy props himself up next to me. I have the window seat. Here, Noah, hold the baby, his mother says, her arms full. I can't break their bubbles. She stows away stuff overhead, boy hidden behind blanket and baby. Let's fasten you up. She takes the bundle. I read from my Kindle. He falls asleep. Superman mask slipped in to cover him from chin to brows. We take off, clouds below sky. I look out. Small boy head slumps on my shoulder. I too have a mask to hide behind. The first human touch in 6 months. Crystal.
Okay. Now we have been invited to the Karoo Writers Festival, and we do understand that it's multilingual, and we've heard the call and the challenge, and we took it up. And the poem that I'm going to, or the pieces that I'm going to read are in Xhosa, and one of them is appearing on the Afro Poetry Project. You go there and you Google Crystal Warren. You'll see some of the pieces that are there. They are publishing pieces in all the 11 official languages. And I'm bringing this one because APOP is also part of the Karoo Writers Festival, which is great. And this poem is entitled Diculele, a request for a song. There is a fly that wants me to commit murder. I don't know how to deal with that. Ndiculele, ndiloza imiqolo edida ingqondo yam, xakekisa imelebe de ibhude imbudede. Loqisa ulwimi lwam lunganqandeki, thuma uvalo lwam ludlale amagquma. Cula umvandedwa wam uzokulinganisa ngokuzolileyo, xakekisa imiqhagi ngoqhizi, gquma okwamaza olwandle ekhweba, khonya okwezindla zixelisa ngomkhulungwane ongaxhalabisiyo. Cula uxelise iintaka ezintathu ezabonwa nguBob Marley, ququzelisa usiputso ndimcela impinda, yeka iminwe yam idlale isiginci ngeembambo zam, iinyawo zam zingqishelwe uyolo zisonqana ukombelela. Thandondini yenza izandla ziqhwabe, iminwe yonqane ukunqarhaza, amehlo avalwe mbarha ebona wena wedwa. Iingcinga zisenzozobileni, yiba ngumsasazi wam undiphindaphindele loo ngoma. This poem is basically about someone who is madly in love and all the body parts are doing whatever that they can to enjoy the love that is at the disposal. Okay, then the next piece, the next piece that I would like to read, let me see if I can open it. This one is not really my work, but is a translation. If you go online, storyweaver.org.in, you will notice that there are lots of children's books that are there, written in many languages, but mostly in English, and the challenge is for the communities around the world to translate those books in your own language. You know, if you write in Afrikaans, there is nothing stopping you in translating the book, even if it has been already translated in Afrikaans. You can translate it in the manner you know that you feel like translating. And this one is a level one book, meaning that the grade R's up to grade 2, and it's titled Ndiyathanda ukufunda. In English, I like reading. The original author is Lata Machoga. Ndiyathanda ukufunda. I like reading. Ndingafundela apha. Ndiyathanda ukufunda. We know that we are in the period of COVID and we've lost so many people. So it's dedicated to all the loved ones that we've lost. And it's titled Lullaby. I'm standing at the foot of your grave, singing a lullaby for you. While picking weeds and cleaning it, I'm humming a lullaby. I wish I could put my head on top of it, my hands kissing it to the lullaby song. When other mourners bring you more neighbors, I will be among some of them thinking of you. These flowers will hopefully bring fresh air, making you sleep peacefully. Sleep then, my dearest one, sleep. I wish I could leave this lullaby on you. Thank you. Next, I will call Crystal.
Thank you. Hopefully everyone isn't sick of my voice by now. And since we're at the Shriner House, I'm going to start with the poem about Olive Shriner. If I can find it. And it's from my collection Predictive Text, which came out just in time to be launched in Makanda and then got swallowed by the lockdown. So, as many of us who've had books in this period will feel this. Okay, so this is Olive Shriner. On an African farm, she wrote her story, the iron words prizing open doors, taking her across the world to share dreams and thoughts on South Africa. An international success, she campaigned for peace and personal freedom. Her pen, an olive branch, stronger than a sword. It tore through lies, calling for justice, for equal rights, for women and labour. She changed worlds in dream life and real life. And then this next poem was written, so based on a true event, of something which I think Olive Shriner would have approved of my sentiment. Patriarchy 101. Half an hour into the Women's Day event, we have yet to hear a woman's voice. Okay. Yeah. This one is about voices and words. It's called Rituals. I use words to counter chaos. I map the mountains, exploring peaks and valleys, avoiding avalanches. I tell myself stories, leaving pebbles on the path, so I can find my way home, one word at a time. I will follow my colleagues and read a lockdown poem. I think we all have several of those, and it's called Grounded. I travel a lot. Work trips, weekends away with friends, visits to family. In one particularly busy period, I worked out I'd been on 8 planes in a month. Not to be recommended. I don't bother to pack away my suitcase anymore. It stands against the door in the spare room, always ready for the next trip. This year is different. With a worldwide pandemic and travel restrictions, no one has gone anywhere. It has been 6 months since I left town, even longer since I had a holiday. But I don't pack away the suitcase. It stands ready, just in case. A bright blue bag reminding me that this will end, holding my hopes. And then I thought I would read some poems about being able to travel. And this one was actually written after a long drive back from a previous Karoo Writers Festival to going home. And it's called Night Drive. A dark night, a long road between towns. No streetlights, no stars, barely any other cars. Our only guides, the cat's eyes, reflecting on the tar. And high above it all, solitary in the sky, a Cheshire cat moo. Two more travelling poems. This was from my first collection, Bodies of Glass. And the amusing thing you might realize, both Marika and I have had 2 books published, and both times by the same publishers. This is called Spring Flowers. My doctor thinks we shouldn't go. He's worried about my heart. I really wanted to see the flowers again, maybe next year. Approaching her 90th birthday, my grandmother will not cancel. Sees this as a postponement, already planning the next trip. Sadly, she didn't get to go caravanning again. But even when she was looking at frail care, they were looking, could they find somewhere where they could keep the caravan parked? All right, and here's a very different trip called Deja Vu. 3 years ago, we traveled this road. The same car, the same journey, but no longer the same people. Then I hung on your word. Walking 2 paces behind, my world revolved around you. Now I am much further down the road. I have moved beyond you, almost without noticing. The icon I had created left behind as I travelled towards myself. Well, I don't know about Craddock, but we've had some beautiful rain in Makanda. So I thought, and there's something very special about summer rain. If I could now find my poem, sorry, I marked it. Maybe I'll, here we go, 76, sorry. Called Petrichor. Soft rain at the end of a hot, humid day. A gentle splatter on the umbrella. The tar glistens and steams, releasing the smell of summer. And this was a poem for my mother called Home Baked. Sometimes skills skip generations. Parents who lack the patience to teach their children. My mother, who loved to bake, let us help her, despite our hindrance. We played in the kitchen, decorating gingerbread men, cutting out biscuits, mixing batters and licking bowls. We made a mess. We slowed things down. We burned biscuits and ruined pots. But in my mother's kitchen, we made memories. We learned to be creative, to taste the sweetness of life. And I'm now going to end with 2 short and sweet poems. Again, both kind of happened and the words just came. So this is Spilt. I would not have wept over milk, but the strawberry jam, mixed with shards of broken glass spreading over the kitchen floor, caused a sticky sadness. And then we'll end with the chocolate cure. My friend phones, commiserates on my migraine. I saw your post on Facebook, thought it said heartache, and wanted to make you a chocolate cake. Then I saw headache and decided it was not a good idea. I disagree. Chocolate cake is always a good idea.
That was Crystal Warren. Thanks, Crystal. Ladies and gentlemen, a literary festival and a book festival is not a fully fledged festival without books on sale. And one simple form of body of evidence, and that will be a drawback that you've been to a festival, is to come back with some books. I believe that these books are on sale. And the tendency or the advantage will be that, unlike the normal price, you go to a festival, you get them either, the price will be either a launch price or a festival price. I haven't asked my colleagues how much are they selling them. But books are if you need to take more of this and go and read more of these poems on your own, you are welcome. you know, they are for sale. Okay. We will speak on the sidelines about the price and all of that. The last colleague of Amazon that we wish to call in France. We had plan B and plan C and plan D. Fortunately, she's here. So we will call her to come in front. It's Pedro. Yeah, welcome again.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry, could
Yes,
your name again?
Petro.
Petra, thank you.
Yes. Okay, I was going to say my name is Petro, but now he said it. Anyway, I would like to start by paying tribute to a colleague who passed away in June this year, Lennon Shabalana. Lennon was a playwright, a poet, and a director of physical drama. After completing his MA drama degree, he was appointed at Amazwi in 2017. His musical drama was performed during the 2016 National Arts Festival. He published a poetry book in 2010, and the poem I want to read you is from the 2017 Ariel. It's a publication by Rhodes University's ISEA. The Reformed Addict. I know you know, but I keep on, divert my attention in killing my essence. In too deep, I say, yet I know your pain is mine. I hold on to the lie, but I know you know. I know your pain, it is what saved me. And then I get goosebumps. My gedigte, die ene is 'n gedig, die tweede is 'n kort verhaal. Afstand. Hoekom is naby so ver? Jou oë lyk vriendelik, maar ek hoor nie jou hart wanneer jou lippe beweeg nie. Met der tyd, vind ek jou in verlore sinne. Kruising. Dis reeds te laat vir hare was en ek gryp Fransien se serp. Ek het nie wit mens uitgaan hare soos jy nie, het sy gelag toe ek haar versameling bewonder. By die rooi robot vou ek behendig die serp in 'n kopdoek soos Fransien my geleer het. Uit die hoek van my oog sien ek 2 verkeersmanne oorkant stop en hulle staar stip na my. Verbouwereerd maak ek seker dat my flikkerlig aan is, maar hulle glimlag oorvriendelik met die verbyry en ek glimlag verward terug. Dan besef ek verleë, die kopdoek is die knooppunt. And the next one is an English poem. It was published in Coinage 2, The Change Issue. Maskandi Master. Nkunzi Mdaka shared the heartbeat of the people, the rhythm of the land, in the settler city of Makanda. They could not understand the songs of the history of beaten tracks cutting through the land, traces of the dispossessed, and songs changing to a new beat. Thank you.
Thanks, Pedro. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end, but we can't really finish this without welcoming our director, Ms. Beverly Thomas. She has joined us. She was meant to join us much earlier, but we heard of the struggle that they had on the road. We are welcome back. I'm not sure if you want to say a word or two, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Michola. I was going to open and introduce this session, but in many ways it's almost nicer that I'm closing it, because what I wanted to tell you is that a Masri is about creativity, and the staff, they study other people's creativity, or they are administrators or bureaucrats. But they're also very creative people in their own right. So the point of this session was to show you the talent that's sometimes not very visible in a Masri, the talent that happens at home while people are traveling. But in addition to the writers, we've got photographers, we've got artists, we've got singers. So perhaps at another festival, we will showcase the other talents of our staff at Masri. What is also important to note is the diversity of voices, from English to Afrikaans to isiXhosa, and Lennon was a Zulu speaker. So we have that range, and it's a very exciting environment to work in. Probably most of you here will know who Basil is, Basil Mills, and you'll know who Jeremy Fogg is. Before I came to work at the then Nelm, and I'd met Jeremy and Basil at conferences, at museum conferences, I thought an institution that could nurture such different personalities must be a nice place to work. That's why I went there. That's what I have to say. Thank you. Thank you for coming.